Hey guys, what's up? My name is Kathy and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is the Metaphysical Babes. In today's video, I want to talk about pineapple and the spiritual secrets of pineapple. Before I get into that, I just want you to understand something. Nature was not created by God by mistake. Nothing is just there. Everything has a purpose under the skies. Whether it's just the grass, okay? They play a role. The little insects that maybe don't mean anything to you, but God didn't just create them out of boredom. They all have a role that they play. So nature, the fruits in nature, the leaves, the trees, all these things, they play a role and they are here to serve us. The only thing is that you've never been taught that you can use them to awaken your spirit, to help ground you, to help heal you. The leaves, the fruits, they all play a purpose. The natives, they knew that. If you are of African descent, through our spirituality, we have been taught that. But unfortunately, mankind have completely distorted everything. They've led some groups into slavery, into suffering, which made them forget where they came from, which made them forget what they've been taught. So all of these things, that took away our truest and purest spirituality have been done by design so that we forget, so that we can follow one world order. And today I'm here to share with you, as I've been taught myself, a lot of secrets inside spirituality. And you have to understand something here. Haitian spirituality is the only spirituality that still uses a lot of ancestral knowledge. And a lot of the rituals that you find Haitian spirituality are rituals that actually came from the motherland of Africa. And it's still the one, it is the one that still has this, not only the secrets, but it follows the true discipline of that spirituality. And it's really one of the few places on earth that maintained the essence of its spirituality. And that's why you probably, if you follow a little bit of Haitian, politics or news or whatnot, then you're quick to understand why there's so much chaos around this place. It's not done just randomly. It's done by design because they want to detach you from the earth, from the motherland. And, you're placed in a different setting and you forget who you are. You're completely distorted. You follow a God or that has nothing to do with you, or spirits that have nothing to do with your lineage. And then you wonder why your life is in disarray. I have gone through that. And because I went through it, and I've learned the hard way, I came back to myself, really learning how to ground myself, learning how to, use the secrets inside of that spirituality to liberate me, spiritually speaking. And I've made videos about coffee. I've made videos about basils and stuff like that I've been used not just for cooking or for drinking, but they have a purpose. All you have to do is look within the history of, these herbs or these ingredients that you take for granted that are just sitting there in your cabinet. There's a reason why garlic has such, power behind it. And even in movies, Hollywood will give you a snippet of the truth when they show you that if you throw garlic on a vampire and what happens, right? So you already know. So all these things, there are hidden little secrets that they put here and there. But if you don't know, you will, it'll go over your head. You'll think it's a Hollywood thing, right? And Hollywood also has not only given, little hints in there, but they've also used, the knowledge to the detriment of certain groups. Like for instance, in voodoo, they show you that voodoo is evil, it's blood drinking, and so on. They created this distortion so that you don't know, as Black people or as humanity, that there is a spirituality that can help you liberate you. There is a spirituality where you don't need to go inside of a temple to venerate some sort of saint. You don't have to enter this church, which is uh which has gold everywhere, gold that they stole out of Africa, and then they bring you back in there to pray their own saints when you have forgotten your own ancestors. They tell you that you following and putting water or coffee for your ancestor, they say it's devilish, when it's not true. Because if you go to a Catholic church right now, you pray to Saint Expedite. I happen to like Saint Expedite, but if you go into a Catholic church or you put Saint Anthony or something, you pray, this has to do with their ancestors, Roman ancestors. If you are Black, do you really pray to a Roman ancestor? What does that have to do with you when you are neglecting your own ancestor? So you have to learn and you have to understand these truths, and they're only meant to liberate you. Like I said, I had to learn the hard way after so many hardships and trials in my life. I was just, always left with the question of what the heck is going on, and the answer was always found in my lineage, things that they were supposed to do, they didn't do, and stuff like that. And it traces back to your ancestors oftentimes, especially the ones that were taken away from their true land and brought to a place where they literally erased their memories. All you have to do is, just not too long ago in history, right here in the United States, you can see the things that they did to African Americans to help to force them to forget and accept something that had completely nothing to do with them. The way that they use Black women, their bodies for experiments, Black men, that they purposely gave in syphilis, for instance. There's so many things. Just recently, all you have to do is go back in history, pick up a book, and then you will understand why they did all these things. Your spirituality, your body, your mind, your spirit, that's your temple. You don't need anybody. You need the knowledge, you need nature, and then you can rebalance, recenter yourself. Now, everything is done through discipline. Okay. Even I know that the Kabbalah spirituality understands that very, very clearly. Whatever ritual they do, they know there's a discipline that goes through it. Also there's no mistake that Solomon, who the Bible, talks greatly of, they'll tell you that Solomon understood how to work with demons and manipulate them in energy and all that. It's knowledge, guys, that gives you that power. You're not defying God, as long as you're not killing, as long as you're not stealing, you're not doing anything to the detriment of others. You are not defying God, okay? You are co-creating with God. And this is what the knowledge is supposed to help you with, Haitians, they did the ceremony of Wakaima. They wanted liberation. Okay, so they call on the spirits, they call on their ancestors, they called on the divine creator to help them because they did not want to continue suffering, and they vowed to always use their spirituality to help guide them. There's so many ways, so many weapons that you can use against people that are attacking you. That is your God-given right to defend yourself. The biblical scriptures talk about you defending yourself. Okay, so I always ask people this question. If somebody's coming to you right now with a knife to kill you, what are you going to do? You're going to stand there, or you're going to fight back and defend yourself, at least to try. So this is what, spirituality is supposed to help you with. to defend yourself against people that want to attack you, that are sending negative energy towards you. So you have to understand where they're coming from, how they arrive, and how you can get rid of them. You do not want to kill, but you have the right to defend yourself, spiritually speaking. So before, I went into the pineapple ritual, that I actually built a whole ritual set that I have on my stencil. If you go right now into the link, you will find it. You buy it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this is only meant to find a certain group of people. If you are not ready for it, it might not speak to you. You will bypass it. That I know for sure. But if you know you're looking for answers, you will go and you will get it. And then we will create a relationship. I have people that I've worked with that I need to find a way to have their testimonials shared on here so that you can understand. I've built a relationship with them through the work that they chose from me. And the way that their lives have just changed for the better is incredible. And I'm so proud of not disowning, the true me by going into that spirituality out of curiosity and learning about it. Okay. And helping people and reaching out to people that I have based in Haiti to help them go deeper into the work that they wanted. Because I am limited in the sense of like, I'm not an initiator because I did not go, into that process. But the knowledge, it's like I have all the knowledge, right? I'm very knowledgeable on Haitian spirituality because I spent time studying and talking to people, learning rituals that I have used myself, and I've seen the progress and I've seen how they liberated me. And, and I had to do protection work on myself as well. So many things, the only thing is just like, I cannot put my hand, quote unquote, in fire to do certain work because I was not given that right. I was not anointed with that. So I go to an elder in Haiti, based in Haiti. He does it. And he doesn't do anything evil, guys. Start by removing this stigma out of your mind, out of your brain, out of your spirit, out of your head. It's created by people that don't want you to know, okay? And even Haitians don't know. You out to know and find out. And we talk about manifestation, with like the manifestation community, but there's a lot of things that some people are leaving out. Yes, you do embody, once you embody the archetype of, who you truly are and you understand why you came here, then yes, you own reality. You can command reality, all these things. But unfortunately, there's some lineage where a lot of things didn't sort of like took place. So you need to bring divine order within your path, right? And only certain kinds of spirituality or spiritual tools or spiritual knowledge that you apply can bring you back to divine order. And once you do, and then you can really command reality because that dominion was put on you over by God, right? Put over you by God. So you have to know and go through all that. I can have a session with you if you choose, to go and depict where there's like misalignment. Okay. So once you understand that, and then we can decide on what type of work you need, in order to bring back, divine order in your life. If you understand that, honestly, the whole of humanity can live a better life. Because whatever we see in the world today, it's not supposed to happen. It is the men that played, that used their knowledge, and played God, but not in the right way, but then to destroy other people. That's why there's so much suffering, but nothing was ever supposed to be that way, right? Once you understand that, you bring and you use nature, the forces of nature, the elements of the earth, And then you can bring back divine order in your life, in your family, lineage, maternal or paternal, whatnot. So yes, the pineapple crown reset is exactly that, sort of like one type of ritual you could do to bring back energy to your sacral chakra, to your crown chakra. And pineapple, which has this element of royalty as a fruit, because of the crown, because of its color, because of its sweetness, can help bring back sort of this crown energy, royal energy back to you. It's a way to ground yourself, to reset things within your life, right? And I've used it myself. I can tell you quickly, you cut up a pineapple, you use other ingredients, and it's sometimes, ingredients that you can mix them. You are the commanding power. You know what I mean? Yes, you need the proper knowledge and you need to discipline. One thing I forgot to mention when I mentioned discipline is that even Kabbalah will give you a ritual and they tell you the step by step to follow so that a ritual could actually work. Even Psalms, like you see that they're not telling you, the church, the book of Psalms or Psalms, they have their divine name. Each psalm in Kabbalah has a divine name. And I learned through this first through a woman here on YouTube. But then, and some rituals use Kabbalah even in Haitian spirituality, or Kabbalah uses some principles of Haitian spirituality. Okay, so now you understand why you need guidance, the proper guidance, so that when you do a ritual, you respect, you follow it with discipline and reverence. Of course, you don't want to do anything in fear. This ritual will always work. 99.9999% of the time it will work, if not 100%. Now I've used this pineapple crown reset ritual, and all I can tell you that the weeks to follow, like, things were just like doors were opening for me. And it was given to me by the older man in Haiti. And I've used it. And honestly, all I can say is like positive things have happened. A lot of things that I'm like, learning right now, and things are not exactly the way that I want them to be. But when I tell you doors are opening for me, it's unbelievable. Okay. So you use the pineapple, you can use pineapple juice. You crush the pineapples in the bath mixture. You use salt, you use, honey, you can use basil, you can use other leaves and stuff like that. You mix it, and for a period of 3 days, you do this ritual at the same time, 12 p.m., 12 a.m., 3 p.m., or 3 a.m., or whatever time speaks to you whenever you're available. You could do it at 9 p.m. as well, So you do this bath, you speak over it, you pray, you read your psalm. You can read your psalm if you want to, using the divine name of that psalm, okay? You open up the 4 quarters, and then you take your bath, you light candles, you take your bath, and then watch for literally your life to have a reset. Okay, you release the wounds, you call on the reset, and then you crown yourself. This is what pretty much this bath ritual is all about, and it's made for anyone. I don't care your background, it's made for all of us. We use in nature, we use the elements here on earth to help us, because why would God put us here for no reason? Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to eat certain fruits. We wouldn't be able to use certain crystals. We wouldn't be able to use fire if we didn't need them. They serve a purpose. You need to know that. Do not listen to anyone that tells you, oh, basil is for cooking. Yeah, it is for cooking, but it's also for a lot of things spiritually. Why is, how ayahuasca used in Latin America for spiritual awakening, for clarity, for communication? How did they know to mix those things? They're not here just because. Okay. How do you make, medicine? They go into nature. Okay. So please, I don't want to hear anybody that says this. So anyways, I've put the link here. Go ahead and purchase the ritual. Book a session with me if you want to go deeper into it. I'm here literally as a spiritual case manager to help you through what you're doing. And if you want to go further and go into, lineage, ancestral liberation work, with the man based in Haiti. Now that's a different story. You can still book a session with me. I'll go over the details with you, and then, we'll proceed into that. He's there to help liberate people, and he's done it for me. He's done it for other people, and their life just opened up in the most magnificent and beautiful way. I don't want to make this video any longer. This is it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Kathy. This is the Metaphysical Babes. God bless you, and let's continue to prosper together. See ya.